My name is Paula Jo Chitty Henry. I always include the Chitty because I went to school here and my parents still live here. My mom was always mad when I don't include my maiden name. So Paula Jo Chitty Henry, and my husband and I, Fred Henry, own Crepes Paulette. We started it about 6 years ago, that was 6.5 years ago now, in a food truck, which is still going. And we had originally fished around for the idea of doing it in a restaurant and realized that maybe that was a bit of a stretch for us to do initially. So we wanted to try out the concept in the trailer. I always think of Bentonville as a cosmopolitan small town because he's got all these people in it that have come from other places, many of them big cities, but they come and they meet the people that live here and have the real small town feel, and they love that. I mean, so many times you hear about people coming here for a vendor job and then not wanting to leave when their time is up on that job. So they quit and they go to another vendor because they want to stay here. And that's exciting, and I think it's this very, very magical mix of the small town. It gets talked about a lot, the small town, but yet these sort of larger ideas that come from this cosmopolitan community we have coming in, sort of constantly feeding the small town and the people that have lived here all their lives. So when we first started out, we did only the sweet crepes because they're much easier to work with, and as I mentioned before, people know those crepes. So it's not as challenging to get people to try them. But one thing that has really helped us is the fact that gluten-free has become such a buzzword in the past few years, and we happen to offer this product, these buckwheat crepes, that are naturally gluten-free. They can be made with flour and they can be made with egg, but we chose to go down a very sort of strict and very classic path that has none of those things in it. So there is only buckwheat flour, which is gluten-free, water, a little tiny bit of oil, and a little tiny bit of honey, and that's it in those crepes. Well, one thing you always hear about Bentonville when it's talked about in the press is what a friendly community it is. And we've always wanted to activate that part of it. We also really appreciate that. Fred is floored every time he operates in the community at how open people are and welcoming they are. And so that has become a real cornerstone of our product, for lack of a better word, is that we want everybody to enjoy themselves, and we stress that to our staff, and we hire people that are naturally friendly because we think that's important, and it's really goes along with sort of the lightheartedness of our products and the spaces that we create. And so it's sort of the package for us is making it a very welcoming experience, and no question is a stupid question, and have a nice day. Bring your dogs and your kids.